has no one political prisoner, which is just the truth. You know, I was reading the Facebook yesterday, and after that, I had a link. I went on the website of an international organization. I think it was a BBC. As President George Weah calls for respect of constitutional democracy and constitutional mandate by African leaders, Theodore Obiang of Equatorial Guinea is amending the constitution to run for the fifth term. He's been in power since 1978 after he overthrew another person. It tells you that his leadership has been marred by suppression of political leaders, opposition political leaders, and all of those, but he wants to go for a fifth term. He is trying to amend the constitution to run for another term again. And while President Weah is saying, no, we should respect constitutional mandate. When your time finishes, move from there and go sit down. Chief Justice of Liberia, Justice Kobori, today leaves office. He turned over power today. Siane Yona is a new Chief Justice. From what I heard from our reporter at Capitol Building, not the Capitol, but the reporter at the court, Fabien Kuya, when she spoke to several judges this morning, is that the Chief Justice now will take over on the first Monday in October. Siane Yo becomes the new Supreme Court Chief Justice. What is happening to the supply of rice in the country? I listened to President George Manuel Weah yesterday at the airport. The order that the president left his office and went in the street and went to the Freeport of Monrovia to talk to importers of rice about what is happening. They assured the president that there's enough rice in the country that can serve the population up to next year. But to the greatest surprise of the president, he arrived. He is greeted by this news that there's no rice in the country. So meaning the importer deceived the president. Or they are hoarding the product for some political gains. Who knows what the opposition has infiltrated, what the opposition has infiltrated accounts to make it appear that there's no rice in the country. After they assured the president that there is enough rice in the country that can supply the country up to next year. What is happening to our body politics in our country? Business would tend to be politicians as well. We cannot go further. Let us stop right here and seek the face of God just in 1 minute as we go to Nima County and listen to the guy who prays in Mano. His name is Milton Gondon. Milton, bravo, eh?
Nah, bravo, mo. Tu amo you nepe on ma. Kwa pen bi boka now.
You only run by you, or you got a present on there. You've forgotten, yes. Bravo.
Nah, bravo, mo. Come on. Ma ye kwa pen bi boka duo kwa ya dese kwa we gon bibie. Ko da wura ya le ko isi oge kwa papa ya bi boka we. Isi no ko da mi ne popo do awuta pie. Si bunu le ya de go le ya de lo enu bo clean ka won gbele wa ka won le ben edo ke egban blemfin age egban la bia won mo ape sre mesin de ben wa jima kombe ido ike won le bele no ifon wa le no le meke ka no le eta lo so la bule do le no nda won ko ya do pele won sre ba pele se ko na pupo ikota bi bo ka be won le ben ekokron won ze bule won le tro won gbin de ka won be anu do won yo ka ko klura sre be yi ko pekan de ko papa ya ko sene mo ko gbintan na ko da ko finka ko pekan de kere won nu e ko tapia ba ke e ke pin enu ebele pie ko da ko e kere de pa e sera kemu iben bele ka ke ben de kere popo ya isure ko pie ko sene mo iwen popo me ke ga enu ide ko da de ben ezi popo la ko ya de ka won me ko sene mo awon ko da aze wure ben kwa kele ko sunu wa wen meke ka enu ale bi mi ko ben ko kaize mi ase le ko ma we nu en we do le ben o la bia le kan wa ben ka le ko geze a ire e ben ko da mi ka ko da le ben ko ze ko le ko ya pen le ko we pie ke i do gende no ko mi se le no ko ya ko ke mo e yi po ka le o ko le ko ro broadcasting ben ko ya de popo ko bun aye i meke ka no ko le ziko jobo ka ko fun wa ko sunu we le.
Amen. That's the man called Milton Gondon. Milton just called my guest in the other room there to come in the studio. Milton Gondon is a man who prays for us in Mano. And usually we call these language announcers to pray for our president, pray for Liberia, and pray for all Liberians, whether in opposition, in ruling position, or in no position. Let's listen to PCK.
It's bestliberia.com.
This is a guy who prays. He sings to us in prayer. He's PCK.
I love to.
Negak bangan nagak bangan. Nganu ngai klik bodi gak bangan. Papa de mega kwa. The guy is praying for God to protect our leaders, protect our president, His Excellency, Ambassador Dr. George Oponmaneng Bagubese Koze Frekron Chirate Pomitano Tapewia. Protect our Vice President, Her Excellency Neswakoko Mayo Joe Howard Taylor. Protect the Speaker, Buffer Chambers, Abachi the Pro Tem, and our new Chief Justice, Sane Yo. Protect all elected officials, appointed officials, and all Liberians. I love my country, I love my people.
I love my people.
I love Liberia.
Father, save us from the
Father, save us from this pandemic.
pressure that we need it.
The world is getting wicked. Let me welcome the man called Jerity Zakaman from Lofa County. He says, good afternoon, Jala, watching the show live from Vanyama City, Lofa County. Thanks so much for what you are doing for the people of Liberia. Web Tapo, good afternoon, I'm watching from Ganta Nima County. Wow, oh, Kemdi man, watching live from the, oh. This guy is called O Kiampe Jimia. Watching live from Liaisons. Oh, no. William DT says he's watching from Ricky Fingers O Road. While Papa Emmanuel Smith said, good afternoon, I'm following you from the Freeport of Monrovia. Jenkins Hina said, good afternoon, Mr. Griffield. I'm watching you from a comfort zone, Plebo, Maryland County. Oh, Kemple G-Man, watching live from Lesono, a clan, Pala Township, District Ednima County. Francis Nama has joined us, as Zachariah has joined us. And many of you have joined us. We can't read all the comments because no time. We have to go to our discussion. But there are two things I want to talk about quickly as I welcome my discussants in the studio. They come from the Maggibi movement. They're here. They want to tell us what the political future of Maggibi looks like. What do they make of what happened in the county? There have been reports of, there have been some conversations coming up recent. The other day I was watching the television and I saw the former Minister of State, Natana Mangeo, being welcomed in a heroic way in the county by young people. On the other side here, the likes of Nukwe say no, Natana Mange cannot come into the county because it's not his county, he go Bapolu. But now the question that comes to me is that why did Mr. Snow, as a Bassa man, go to, Bomi County to contest? Why was he welcomed by the people? And now he's the loveliest and diviniest senator they have ever seen in recent time. They voted their own son, Ellis Tyler, out of power for Edwin Snow. So let's consider that Mange comes from Bapol County. And he has invested in the county as Edwin Snow did. But you think he can serve the people of Maggibi County? Why should he be shown by other people? So they have come to talk about that. That's just my own perspective about that, but they will talk about that. But let me say something here quickly. You know, I listened to the president when he spoke at the UN General Assembly. Can you please help us there? The president spoke and talked on a few things there that caught my attention. I'll just talk about two quickly and I invite my guys in studio who are here already. President George, we have talked about the stability of Africa. And then what he's been talking about is that he thinks that what has been happening in Africa is not good for Africa redemption. There have been so many coups d'etat in Africa, in Malay, in Guinea, and in other countries around. But when he stood amongst his colleagues around the world to address the United Nations General Assembly, he said there should be a respect for constitutional democracy. Meaning when you are elected for one term, your term over, they vote you out, leave power. Which president we have said, and I very it got to my attention. Every time this president goes to forums in Africa or anywhere, he talked about that. He went to Guinea, he met the junta leader, he said, this is about time to do this thing. It's about time to give power to a civilian rule. He went to Malay. They had these conversations. He told the Malian people that it is not time to have a military leader. And so President Weah has said, right after his second term, which of course I know he will win the elections, after his second term, he will leave power just as Ellen did. Ellen is a model. We copy after South Africa. Nelson Mandela came and said, give me one term. The man who won the Robben Island for so many years, 27 years, he said to the people of South Africa, if you vote me as president, I will serve one term. And he did. See how he was celebrated when he died. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf said, give me one term. When she went for one term, she felt that things were not okay for the country. She said, I'll go for another term. We gave her the second term. She ran and she won. She, right after her tenure over, she turned the country back to the president who won, George Weah. At the time, we have just celebrated 10 years of uninterrupted peace. President Weah thinks that there's no time for Africa, for African leaders to be so greedy for power that they want to extend their time. I was just speaking just now about the president of Equatorial Guinea. I was reading on the BBC website yesterday, the Equatorial Guinea president, Theodore Obiang, that was the man who overthrew his cousin and became president in Equatorial Guinea. And so they say we are in Banga. He was a guest of Madame Sirleaf on I think it was the second July 26th celebration in Banga. So the chief of protocol to Madame Sirleaf introduced this man. He said all the good things about the man. He said, this was the man who overthrew his uncle and became president. I hope they got quiet. Ellie said, Ellie found feel power because her guest was embarrassed with that kind of introduction. But I read on the BBC website yesterday that this man called Theodore Obiang, who has stayed in power over for 47 years, is now going for fifth term. He got in power since 1978. He's the longest serving president in the world now, He wants to amend the constitution to run for fifth term. And all he does is that he intimidates opposition politicians. Some of them are in jail, but he uses the country's oil reserve to make the country stable. His son was found guilty some years back of money laundering. He rides the biggest cars in the world. He rides the yachts, and all of those he rides them around the world. So they said his son is the most popular young man in Africa. I think he's the vice president of his father. So just imagine that. So George Weah said, no, there's no time for this in Africa. Mr. President, thank you for that. And we urge all African leaders who are in power not to go after their term. Because if you do that, you're calling for chaos in your country. Let me just end on this one again, Mr. President. Thank you. About this time, 2 years in Madam Sirleaf administration, there was a mass arrest of Granadians in this country who were brought to Monrovia. They said they were planning a coup against the president. They were charged with treason. Charles, I get old man who say you want to play a cassette. Charles Julu and Jali and other guys were arrested. They said they were planning coup against Madam Sirleaf. Those were the guys they arrested in the first one, Madam Sirleaf. They were here in jail. The international community did not condemn what was happening because they believe in Ellen so much. And those people stay in jail for so long time that even Charles, the old man got blind in jail, and some of them, I think, died right after that. One of our colleagues reported about the caterpillar invasion in Bond County, that the man who was agriculture minister, Christo, has stolen money from the Liberian government, ate it, and caterpillars were eating the poor crops in Bond County. Ronnie said reported that story. The next thing we saw was an arrest warrant for Ronnie. He went to court. He was brought down guilty and put in jail for a very long time. He got sick in jail, and Madam Sally could not muster the political will to let Ronnie out of that jail. And they said Ronnie should apologize. He said no, he stood by his word. So Madam Sally, in just in 2 years' time, 3 years' time, she had more political prisoners in jail. Didn't our international partner see that? But George Weah, as a president now, doesn't have enough fly in jail as a political prisoner. These applauses for the president. Mr. President, thank you. Having said that, let me welcome the guys who come from the movement of Magibie County. Can you have you guys? I can introduce you guys because I think you can do it better than I do. Let's start from you, sir.
I thank you very much, Jala, for that splendid historical analysis provided to our people. Firstly, I'm T. Jeremiah Cephas, a chairperson for the Movement of Development in Magibie County, to be specific.
Okay.
I actually came with some code of officers.
Okay, please, let's let them introduce themselves. Please, let's go to you, my friend. They know the dark shit.
Thank you, Jala. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to be heard on the nation's radio station. Again, I'm Kennedy Kolva, the PRO for the Movement for Development in Magibie County.
Sir, what's it into?
Right, thank you. It's good to be here this afternoon, Jala. My name is Mark Testafint Noah. On the contrary, I am the chairperson for the Ponkepan movement of Magibie County.
Ponkepan movement.
Right, thank you. It's good to be here.
When I hear Ponkepan, I think about Lieutenant Mangeo.
Right, thank you.
Who
thank
is
you.
referred to as the father of Ponkepans
The
in
father
the
of
country.
Ponkepan.
Let me come to you, Mr. Chairman Cephas. What is the Magibie movement for? What do you stand for?
Clearly, to be quite friendly to our fellow Liberians, the foremost foundations of the institution was to foster the dream and development agenda of the young people. What we can do is to train fellow young people academically, train them intellectually, and then catalog some basic development on this region, because we were formed since 2018. This regime came to assistance, President Weah regime. We were founded in April of 2018 to see how best we can channel the developmental agenda of the people of Magibie County through this medium. On the basis of that, we have scored too many points in making sure that the young people of Magibie County get the required training in terms of intellectualism, maybe like what you call study classes for them as well, and then moving forward to see how best the developmental drive of our people can be channeled through them, their very self, because the young people are the central of development. That's the basic reason for which these institutions was formed. But basically, our being here today is being clear. We have had a score of meetings with our members and officials to see how
With
best,
the movement officials?
yeah, movement officials to see how best we can direct our pendulum to a specific movement about this time. So what we did few months back, we have heard a few names in our county. You know, when politics time is coming, you have to be a director. And once you are a director for development, in terms of political movement, that is the time you find the young people being disarrayed. So we have to direct them and give them a pathway. On the basis of that, we concluded in one of our meetings last month that with the Movement for Development in Magibie County, we would direct our agenda to the bid, the senatorial bid of Honorable Mangeo. What we did, firstly, we joined another bigger movement in 2021. Since 2018, we've been existing. We joined another bigger movement in 2021 that's called the Consultants for the Relations of Weah Development. That is a movement we're currently talking with to see how best, as a party of that institution, to see how best they can also join us in making sure that Honorable Mangeo be the next senator of Magibie County. There are too many things we outlined.
So you are opting for Natana Mangeo to be the next senator of Magibie in 2023.
2023.
Meaning that you have endorsed his candidature.
Excellent.
And he has accepted.
First, we communicated with him And you need not to tell us yes first.
Okay.
We have seen his work. You need not
So
to
were
tell
you the
us.
guys who invited him to Maggie on the weekend? I saw
Excellent.
a very huge crowd.
We were part of
we
that.
I say a ocean of people
Yes.
who turned to welcome him.
We wanted to welcome and also appreciate him for the numerous of contributions he has made towards our people in Maggie County, ranging from scholarship, development initiative, providing macro loans for our marketeers, the women. So on the basis of that, we see reason to also appreciate him. We see reason to also call on him to contest into our county, Maggie, to be specific.
I'll come to you. Let me go to Kolba. Is that Kolba?
Yeah.
Yes.
Kolba, let me hear from you. Now you were part of that program on the weekend.
Yes.
How did they come to you, the young people of Maggie, that one may have thought that Mange would have gone to Bon County, where he has been so engaged with the people, or gone back in Bapol to contest, but now you are inviting him in your county where he doesn't come from to contest on a ticket of the CDC there.
Jala, let me provide the information firstly.
Okay.
The former minister Magay is a citizen of Mangibi County. He is from the district which I reside in, which is district number 1. Before even ascending to the positions of minister,
District number 1 in Maggie?
yes, district number 1 in Magibi.
Okay.
We're talking about from the Arrow 2 all the way to the Firestone Bell. You talk about
that's
Boston.
that's district 1.
That is district number 1.
So it means that he resides in the district.
He resides in the district. And mind you, before even ascending to the position as Minister of State of this government, Magay resided in that place. The first house that he ever built was in district number 1. When you go to the SDA University, that where he resides, he was there superintending the campaign that elected President Weah into power. So he's not a stranger when it comes to Mangibi. And more besides, the reason is very simple. Minister Magay, the former Minister Magay, has done a lot of things when it comes to development in Mangibi. So on the basis of that, the movement for development in Mangibi thought it wise that this development icon, this developer, is necessary at this time to give his flower while he is alive. You know, Magay have done so many things when it comes to the issue of empowering young people, when it comes to the issue of going into infrastructure as it relates to Mangibi County. For instance, I will take you to Mangibi. When you enter in Mangibi District number 1, which is having your facelift now, it is under the supervision and the advocacy of this development giant that today we are almost experiencing electricity since Liberia was founded, since we got our independence.
Electricity where?
When you enter in the district, you will find the poles are springing up. You will find wires have been run to the various homes and what have you. Then you take another stroll. You will also be introduced to the estate. The estate that is coming under this government. All of these things are happening on the watch of this president, who Magay have assisted in so many directions to see to it that the people of Mangibi County experience development. Other people who we know before this regime, somebody will be thinking, say, but we cannot carry this development in Mangibi. Why Mangibi? Magay, as people claim that he's from Bapolu County, he thought it was that although people say I'm from Bapolu, but it's not a matter where I'm from, but it's about development. So this development giant have taken development to Mangibi County. More besides, you will get to understand that bulk of the young people who are assisting minister today, bulk of them are from Mangibi County. It is under his guidance, under his influence. Today we can boast of one of the youngest development superintendents in the history of Mangibi County. You can also boast of all the young, talented Mangibi who are in the youthful generation to occupy government positions. So we see Magay as a man who is prepared to move Mangibi County in terms of development.
Let me go to the next guy. Can you just introduce yourself again? I saw the crowd in Maggie the other day, just abruptly with the microphone because of some sound. And then I heard a young, brilliant woman reading a petition to Minister Mangel that he has done so much in the county by paying the WAS fees, but paying the school fees of people through the government of Liberia through his initiative. And was that one of the reasons why you guys thought that he should be petitioned or sort of contest in the county?
Okay, so thank you very much, Jala. I'm honored to be here. There are too many things compounding here to ensure that the former minister becomes the next senator of Margibi County. Now, so the issue of the program last week, you come to understand that the people of Margibi are a sort of grateful people. During the period of his leadership as the Minister of State, you realize that this selfless character took his time, went to our county, his county, and raised 20 million Liberian dollars to ensure that 7,358 students, our children,
7,258 students.
right? I'm being definite. 7,258 students.
Was that just for the academic year on a review?
The academic year. They just ended academic year.
Okay.
All right. For these people whose parents cannot afford to get them in school, to keep them in school. I mean, now that the school year has ended, the parents, the fathers, the mothers, thought it expedient to call him back. Because just by saying thank you is sufficient to move another person to another level.
Okay.
So the program last week was meant to appreciate the former minister. Thank you so very well. In the meantime, too many questions, too many claims and counterclaims coming up in the county. I have always said and I'll say there is a total leadership deficit in the county as we speak.
A total leadership deficit.
Right. Particularly from the lower belt, because we got two senators.
That's coming from the legislative caucus?
Within the legislative caucus. We have two senators. Senator James Emmanuel Nuko is doing pretty well for his people. He's working for his people. Senator James Tonola's term is about to come to an end, and considering his workings in the county and at the legislature, we think at this stage is very important, very pivotal.
But Senator Tonola received a lot of accolades in the county.
Yeah,
I know how the people celebrating the other time. They
if
celebrating the other time so very well.
Where was it?
He had a program here that he was being honored by the people for a leadership program he held in Monrovia.
That was in Monrovia, right?
But some of your places keep on Margibi.
I'm telling you, when it comes to leadership in Margibi County, Senator Jim Tonola will be replaced by former Minister Mangel. Because let me tell you, the politics is like this. It comes in twofold: the top to bottom approach and bottom to top approach. If you work at the legislature very well, which is the top to bottom approach, if you cannot work with your people, it becomes a problem. If you entered Margibi County today and conduct a survey, and your population size will be like 100 persons, I can assure you of that number, 0.001% will tell you Tonola has not done anything here. Let me say 99.9% will tell you he has not done anything here, and such he cannot keep in power. Because of that, the people have made decision capturing the developmental approaches, the involvement of former Minister Mangel, his contributions to humanity, and of course his contribution to the various sectors in our country. You come to know that the people have made the unanimous decision to make him their senator. Just this gone Sunday, you saw 6 bishops and pastors returning from Israel. That was because of the benevolence of Minister Mangel.
Right. Let me come back to you, Mr. Chairman. Now, I've listened to that version, the diverse views coming from your county. The latest comes from Emmanuel Nukwe, who served at the airport authority. He's a senator now for Margibi, and also a friend to Mangel, because I was with Mangel at some point during one of his county tours, only tours in Margibi, where they jointly provided some money for a church construction there. But what is he's saying? It's on the contrary, that he thinks that Mangel cannot be a senator in the county because he doesn't cover the county. that he should go back to Bapolo to contest.
Chala, that'll be quite clear. Maggie Bikante, if you follow the history of Maggie Bikante, the combined territories, that is the Gibi territory and that of the Marshall territory. I believe in my wisdom and the wisdom of our forefathers, in order to be united with a set mind in developing Liberia, we should come together as a county. On the basis of that, they founded what? Magibi County. If you take it from the position standpoint of Senator Nukwe, that'll be quite clear. Senator Nukwe hails from Maserado County, Raya Todi District. He hails from Maserado County, but he also seek a job opportunity in Wayala.
He comes from
Todi District.
So that's part of Maserado.
Maserado. Let me just make this clear today.
Okay.
Maserado. And he followed first in from job opportunity at the Wayala Belt. And he was also opportune to have gone there. Why am I saying this? Magibi County is made of a mixed trap. Of the 16 traps in the Republic of Liberia, there are 2 counties we see or we observe, historically speaking, that do have a mixed trap. One is Maserado County, and 2 is Magibi County. So, for somebody of Senator Nukwe to have said that former Minister Mangeo is a stranger, no. Even when you calculate the development agenda of Honorable Mangeo as compared to Bapolo County, they are not much. You find out that, like in where we call the Jungles Farm, Honorable Mangeo do have over 10 acres of land there. Like some people can be jokingly saying where he buried his mother.
Okay, when you go to the Habel Road.
Excellent. When he buried his mother.
Okay.
That is a property, over 10 acres of land. You do have that there. Like when you're driving up the Tower Hill, before reaching to the Tower Hill, the yellow building community.
Yeah.
He also have a gigantic project there that he built homes there. So on the basis of what you say, this man is a stranger. When you're very safe, you came from somewhere and you reside in Magibi County. But I'm saying that to say, all of us, we came from somewhere to land in Magibi County. Like for me, my forefathers came from Bon County, and they landed in Magibi. You see, Manua came from Nima County, he landed in Magibi. You see, Cordova Canada came from Lofa, he landed in Magibi. So meaning all of us, we came from somewhere, we settled in Magibi County. Meaning, we have a stake in Magibi, we have a decision to make in Magibi. So on the basis of saying somebody is a stranger, no. I just want the senator to derail that argument, to cancel that argument, to say Honorable Mangeo is a stranger. To be fair, if we would take it on a stranger basis, meaning like Senator Tonola, like Magnus spoke of, he shouldn't have been senator for Magibi because he came from Bon County as well. In fact, he came as a classroom teacher. But we saw him as one of us because we came from different locales in Liberia and we settled down in Magibi County. So we will not encourage discrimination. We will not encourage tribalism. We will not encourage sectional politics. So that is why we have said we are a single Magibi County. Why you came from Maserado County and settled in Magibi? You came from Lofa and settled in Magibi? I like the analogy you provided pertaining to Senator Slow. All saw it on the contrary. And they were quoting the constitutional right, state of domicile. And when
I know they went to court before.
When they took the issue to
he
court,
and his former representative.
excellent. The court was very blunt. The court was clear. Why it is true? The law says 1 year prior to election. And in fact, a matter of much, you do have a stake. You should have a development or a residential stake there. So meaning, at no point in time, the former representative in Birmingham County by